George and the Powerhouse Roundtable on ABC's This Week with George.
And welcome back to New Jersey Viewpoint. I'm Ken Rosato. State and local governments are moving to outlaw bullying. Many schools have set up guidelines to prevent students from being bullied. With the recent increase in suicides that resulted from bullying, the focus on the subject is sharp right now. A new book addresses the problem. Please join me in welcoming the author, Carl Romain, who's a world champion martial artist and owner and operator of the Edgewater Kung Fu Academy. Carl, good to have you here with us today.
Thank you, Ken.
First off, do you think that we have more bullying happening today, or that there's just more of a focus, that it's more in the limelight today?
You know, 160,000 kids miss school every single day because of bullying. 282,000 kids are victims of bullying every single month. 3.2 million children are affected by bullying every single year. So the numbers are staggering. I mean, it's at an epidemic proportion. So I don't know if there's more bullying going on or there's more publicity about it, but it's definitely a problem in our communities.
And what about social media and the fact that we have Twitter and Facebook and Instagram? Do you think that that has an impact, and are kids using that, in essence, to gang up on certain kids they don't like?
Absolutely. You know, it used to be that you got bullied in the schoolyard, you went home and you could put it behind you. Now it follows you home. As a matter of fact, when we did the book, we did a survey, and what we found was that 95% of parents thought they knew what was happening online with their children, when in fact the children said only 65% of their parents actually had any idea of what they were really doing online.
And what do people do to prevent this? I mean, you're a parent. How do you possibly intervene? How do you stop this?
You know, it's not just about the parents, but the parents are a key component of this. It's about parents, politicians, and the school teachers all coming together and working together. From our standpoint, and what I'm trying to do in the book is help people understand that if we instill self-confidence in our children, we can help them to overcome the bullying incidents that are going on.
All right, so now you run a martial arts academy. Of course, not only does this allow a child to be physically able to defend themselves, but martial arts also, as you mentioned, instills confidence. When you exude an air of confidence, you're less likely to be bullied, correct?
Absolutely, and there's some basic things that parents can do to teach their kids how to present themselves in a more confident way. You know, if your child was playing sports and he was having a hard time, you take him out in the backyard, you teach him how to swing the bat, you throw the ball with him, and he gets better at it, right? The same thing with this. We can actually train, help, teach, and get our kids to project more confidence simply by doing a couple of simple things. So the first thing is teaching them how to breathe. You know, the way you breathe is the way you respond. Now think about it. When you're anxious or nervous, you breathe a certain way, right?
Absolutely.
And when you're confident, how do you breathe?
You tend to breathe very relaxed, in a very soft, relaxed way, as opposed to shallow and nervous.
We can teach that to our children, right? The other thing is sometimes people are intimidated. They can't make eye contact. But what if you look somebody right here? They can't tell the difference of whether you're looking them in the eye or looking them in the middle of their forehead. So that's another way that they can project more self-confidence. And lastly is teaching them how to communicate. You know, when we communicate effectively and we don't use insults, we can end a situation very easily. Now, is that going to work in every situation? Depends on what's going on, right? But in most situations, just standing up to the bully, looking him in the eye, breathing calmly and saying, you know what, stop, leave me alone, I don't like what you're doing, and then telling the appropriate people, that could help.
So the question, though, is, are schools now responding effectively? Because we continue to hear story after story after story of schools that just aren't getting involved. You know, you would think that in this day and age, with so many bullying stories, that schools would be fast to respond. Yet we still hear so many stories of parents saying, well, I went and complained about this kid, yet this kid didn't get suspended. This kid, parents didn't get involved. Why is this still happening?
You know, the schools are doing the best they can, but again, the schools cannot do it alone. There has to be tougher laws enacted and stated that will help the schools, support the schools, and the parents, again, have to be involved. In the book, we actually talk about how to work with the school systems, you know, how to make sure that you do the proper reporting and speak to the appropriate people. And, you know, don't be afraid as a parent, if my child is being bullied, to go to the top of the ladder if that's what it takes, or speak to your local government person who can help you take care of the situation.
What inspired you to write the book?
So many parents were coming in and talking about how they were bullied. They don't know what to do. Their kids are being bullied, and now their kids aren't getting the help, and they're getting frustrated. And because they're frustrated, they're making mistakes. And one parent told me how they went on the bus and got in a kid's face and now they're blacklisted from going to school. They're not allowed to go back to that school. So I recognize if this happened in my community, it's happening in all communities all over the country. And so this is my effort to do something to help people who don't know what to do, to figure out what to do, to give them some sound advice. And as always, whenever in doubt, seek out the help of a professional. I've been doing martial arts for a long time, and I've seen the changes over the years. I've seen how more and more kids are coming in. They don't have the self-confidence, and they're being bullied every single day, and they're struggling. So it's important for us, parents, school teachers, educators, politicians, to get involved and do everything we can to end this bullying epidemic.
Now, we even see the episodes, now that all the buses are equipped with video cameras, we see episode after episode of kids getting attacked right on school buses. But you're saying, once again, make sure the kids are properly equipped to exude the air of confidence. Not that that will always work, but at least they stand a better chance at
I believe it's the first step.
The conflict resolution, potentially.
Absolutely.
All right. Name of the book once again?
Self-Confidence Factor, A Parent's Guide to Bully Prevention.
Can't tell you how much we appreciate you being here today. Sit down, talk to your kids, let them be filled with confidence, breathe properly, stare into that third eye. At least they have a better shot out there as they go out into the world. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Good to have you on today. I'm Ken Rosado. We thank you again for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.